up, guys? It's Jdos and welcome to part 4 of building the tree fort. Right now, today, we're going to be installing the railings. We got a bunch of 2x4s, more 2x4s, and then we got some more decking. So the plan for today and tomorrow and the weekend after that, what we're going to be doing in this part of the video is we are going to be installing all the railings, installing the ladder. Because right now, we kind of just been climbing up and it's pretty hard to do. So what I'll show you is the railing, how it's going to work is going to be 2x4, 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 2x4. So it's going to be two 2x4s between the trees. And then between these trees, we're going to build a bench. And I explained that in the last video. So if you haven't watched that, go watch the last 3 parts. Trust me, they're worth watching. But yeah, we're going to get into building the railings and I'll see you then. As we couldn't get a video of it because it's just such a hard angle to work from, because one person has to be holding the board and one person has to be hammering. But we have the board hammered in on both sides. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the board under it. We still probably won't be able to get a video of this, but we'll update you after every board. Yeah, so we're going to put the board under it. That's what we're going to do. Second board attached. They're both perfectly level, 0 degrees. And yeah, I'll cut to the next part. Guys, we have the first board installed for the bench. Yes, it's overhanging a lot, but we're going to saw that off in about 2 seconds right after this video ends. But yeah. Board sawed off at an angle at both ends. And we're going to get the board on the other side of the tree. I'll cut to that. We have both boards put in, and we're going to start decking the top of it. So I'll get to that. The bench officially done. Let's get a test real quick. Sitting on the bench, and it works. We are wrapping up for the day because it's getting dark, and we're gonna head inside before it gets dark because it kind of sucks working in the dark, especially because we didn't bring a flashlight out here. So we're gonna get wrapped up for the day, pull all of our wood up so we have it on the platform. Then we're gonna cut to tomorrow, and I'll see you then. All right, guys, it's the next day, and we have our ladder that just came in, and we're gonna get setting it up. So how we're gonna set it up is we're going to build another one of those railings between those 2 trees. The top railing is gonna have lag bolts into the trees, just like how we attached all of the support beams. So it's gonna have lag bolts into the trees, just so when we're climbing up the ladder, it's able to hold our weight, because the normal nails probably wouldn't be able to hold the weight of a full-grown person climbing up the ladder. But how we're gonna do it is the 2x4 is going to be extending out like another 2 feet, and then we just climb up the ladder that's attached to the 2x4. And yeah. All right, guys, we have put in the first bottom rail. We're not going to cut off the excess yet, but we probably will end up doing that in a little bit. But first, we're going to put the top board, and then we're going to run back to the house, grab our drill that's been charging because it wasn't charged. So we're going to grab the drill, and then we're going to drill the holes for the lag bolts, and we're going to put them in. All right, guys, we have the board nailed in. Now we're going to start drilling it with our drill bit to put our lag screw in. So I'll cut to that. All right, guys, we have the first hole drilled, and now we're going to get our bolt put in there. I'll cut to that. Alright, guys, we have the second lag bolt attached. Now we are putting the ladder through the carabiners, and we're going to get attached onto the beam. Here's the first test of the ladder. Whoa. Hold up, stop. What the heck? Alright, guys, so the rope ladder didn't work. We obviously put the lag bolts in, and it was stable. This board was stable, like we had hoped so, but the ladder was just too wobbly and all over the place. And then what we did is we tried to wrap it around this tree and climb up on this side, but it was also the same thing. Like, it was just unstable. It's not a good ladder. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna saw off these 3 beams that we had here, and I'm gonna make a ladder built into the tree. So I'm gonna work on that and I'll get to you in a second. All right guys, so I tried putting the ladder in the tree. It was not stable enough, so I'm taking it down and I'm gonna build a ladder with this wood here. And I'm going to cut to that because honestly, I'm out here by myself and I don't really feel like filming the entire build process of the ladder. So I'm just going to build it and show you after. So I'll get to you then. All right, guys. So last night I did build the ladder. It's obviously the next day, but I was out there by myself building, so it's kind of not straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ladder apart, get it straight, and then we're going to re-screw it in, and then we're going to go install the ladder at the fort. So I'll see you then. All right, guys, the ladder has been taken apart, and we're going to start putting in the boards again, this time straight, and we're going to use screws instead of nails. So I will cut to when it's done, and I'll see you then. All right, guys, we have the ladder installed on the treehouse. If you want to see the full build on the treehouse, before this video is even uploaded, there's a YouTube short showing us building it and installing it. So if you want to see the in-depth of that, just go watch the YouTube short real quick. It's 30 seconds long, but it's a really cool video of us just drilling the ladder. And yeah, so the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna have to make another run to Home Depot later today, and we're gonna grab wood stain. And what my plan is for the wood stain is we want this tree house to be camouflage. And obviously, I'll show you real quick. If you're walking this way, the trees cover it. But if you're coming from this way, yeah, you can see it really well. But so the first step we're gonna do to camouflage it is we're going to stain it gray. So I have a stain already picked out. We just have to go get it mixed at Home Depot, and it's to match this tree color because they're grayish trees, they're not really brown. And obviously the fence in the background is gray because it's weathered. So we want it to blend in as much as possible. And another thing we're gonna do to camouflage it is once we stain it, we're going to actually just hammer on tree branches to the front. So it looks like there's just branches coming out there, but it's actually connected to the treehouse. And then we're also going to either dig up or buy some pine or like little tree saplings, and we're gonna plant them here. So that way, we're not gonna actually have a front entrance anymore. We're gonna put grass here, let the grass grow, and we're gonna dig out a little back entrance that comes around to the back. Because obviously, all the good stuff is in the back. If I come around, the ladder, the entrance to the fort. And real quick, I'll show you guys me going up the ladder. It's super stable. It doesn't creak or anything. But yeah, fort is looking good, and I'll get to you once we get the stain. Alright guys, we are at Home Depot. We have the color picked out. We're getting Stonehenge and semi-transparent, and we're going to get the best quality stain. Oh, right there, waterproof stain and sealer. We got all this other stuff to stain it. Guys, we're getting this tarp. It's 6 by 8 feet. It's the perfect dimension for our trees, and we're going to use it as a roof. We're just going to angle it so water and branches, because we've been getting a lot of small branches falling on the platform, but this will be our roof for now. All right, guys, we have our stain, and we're gonna check out and head back. And tomorrow and the next day, I'm gonna start staining it, and then we're gonna put the tarp up. All right, guys, we are at the fort. It is the next day. Yes, I am barefoot because we are working with the tarp, and I don't want to get the whole thing dirty. So my brother is coming out in a few minutes, and he's gonna bring some paracord, or it's paracord. It's just the rope we use to tie up the tarp. But so what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie it up on the trees, and we're doing it early in the morning just so no twigs and sticks fall down, because we want our deck to be completely clean of any debris when we stain it later today. So I will cut to when he gets here, and we're going to be putting up the tarp. All right, guys, my brother's here with the paracord, and we're going to start tying up the roof, and I will see you once we get the first part tied up. All right, guys, the first rope is tied up. Now we're going to tie up this corner to that tree. All right, guys, the second rope is attached. Now we're going to get these two sides attached, and I'll get to you after. All right, guys, all of the knots are tied. We tied them using slip knots so we can adjust them to be tighter and looser depending on what we need. So they're all adjustable. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points where it's tied up. And yeah, it's looking good. This should protect our deck when we're staining it, so no branches and twigs and stuff fall down, because we've had that happening a lot. So I will cut to either later today or tomorrow, and we're going to start staining it. I'll see you then. All right, guys, we are back at the fort. We actually put the hammock up, and I was chilling in it for a couple hours today. But we have all of the painting supplies. and I just swept off all the dust and branches off the deck. So we're going to start painting. We're gonna get a big time lapse of the whole painting process. Oh, not paint, it's stain, but we're gonna get the whole time lapse of it, and I will cut to that in about 2 seconds. All right, guys, before we cut to the time lapse, we're gonna get this paint opened up with this nail. Here, film this real quick. There we go. Now let's stir it up with the paint stick. Liquefied. Pretty good. Alright guys, we didn't get the full time lapse of this, but we got both of these beams done. We're actually going to not do any more time lapse, just because we got another brush and we're gonna both paint at the same time to get this done faster. But we'll update you as we paint each section of the treehouse, and I'll get to you on the next section. Alright guys, we have both rails stained. Don't know for sure what we're gonna do next, but I will update you after we do the next section. Alright guys, we are done with the main part of the deck. Left a little bit still white there because I need a place to step and it doesn't look good with footprints. So we're gonna come back tomorrow once this is all dry. We're gonna touch up the rest and finish off the boards below, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright guys, we are back at the fort today to finish the standing process, and someone stole our ladder and put these random ass logs on our tree fort. So I have no clue who did this. There's a speaker. Is that your speaker?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, my bad. But we're gonna do some investigation work, try to find the ladder, and then we will be back and then eventually finish staining it. But the ladder's the priority now, so I'll see you then. All right, guys, we found the ladder. Someone threw it into the creek. And there's some random ass board.
You have the waterproof shoes.
Yeah. We're gonna grab the ladder, but our suspect right now is there's another fort way down there. And if you watch the very first video on this channel where we explore the construction site, we explore that fort. We talked to them yesterday. They're relocating their fort to there, but I don't know if they took this ladder and moved it here. It's all covered in shit and mud. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but we're gonna get this ladder back to the fort, and I'll see you then. All right, guys, we came back down to the creek to grab this wooden board that was also thrown. Our paint, someone spilled our paint all over the creek. And so we have no more stain. Or no, there's a little bit left, but it's... Dude. What the fuck? Who did this, bro?
I got the board.
I think we're gonna not stain today. We're probably just gonna work on investigating and fixing our fort. But look, they just poured this shit everywhere. All right, guys, I'm actually gonna just stain it because we still have a little bit of stain left in there. So I'm just gonna, literally all I'm gonna stain is this front part. We're gonna get the stain done, and then we're gonna do some investigating work. I will see you then. All right, guys, I'm almost done staining, but we found a crazy discovery. We planned to do with this back area, what we were gonna do, we're gonna make a garden and just grow some like random shit just for fun, you know? But look what's already growing here. Those are blackberries, wild blackberries. They grow around in this area, like this whole like the place we live in, but there's just a perfect patch right here, so it's perfect, you know? All right, guys, I finished the stain. Down there, it's all stained, so it should be camouflage from the front, and I finished the deck up. But we're gonna end this video here, but just be prepared. The next video is gonna be all about securing our fort and making sure this thing is secure and nobody's gonna do this again. And we're gonna get this super camouflaged. We're gonna start work on the back, what we're gonna do with the back section. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. In the next video, the turf war begins.